Hey people, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining. And in this session, we are going to learn about one sample Wilcoxon test. So one sample Wilcoxon test we perform when your data is normally distributed, but still you wanted to compare the median value of a normal data. Then we use the one sample Wilcoxon test, which is also called as an Wilcoxon signed rank test. Wilcoxon signed rank test. So how do we perform? Suppose you have some data. Let's say here is the data. Maybe this is your transaction data, the number of transaction you are doing in an hourly basis. And maybe assuming your number of transactions are somewhere, you are producing around 22 to 30 transactions per hour. You have the data for the multiple people who are working in the team for the hourly basis, or maybe these are the data for the daily basis. Suppose you are collecting, and this is last 25 data points you have collected for last 25 days for one person. And this is how on an average, the data, they have this transaction performed. Now, you wanted to find out, suppose your target is 30. Let's say that you are expecting that the individual should be performing at least 30 target per day. So there is a one way you can compare the mean value of this data, or second is the median that you will be comparing. Either the 50% of the time at least they are performing 30 or not. So for mean, I explained you about how to perform the one sample t-test and one sample z-test in the previous session. And this session, we are going to learn about if your data is normally distributed and you wanted to compare the median, then we use one sample Wilcoxon test. So how do we run this test? Let's see. I just copy this data in Minitab here. And first thing we should be checking the normality of this data. To check the normality, we'll go to stat, basic statistics, and here is the normality test. Click on this, select your data. Anderson-Darling is by default selected. Just click on OK. And you look at the data. P-value of the data for the Anderson-Darling test is 0.164. You can see here. When the p-value is greater than 0.05 for the Anderson-Darling test, we assume data is normally distributed. Now we can perform the one sample Wilcoxon test. So if you go here, stat, non-parametric, and here is the option one sample Wilcoxon test. Click on this. Select your variable, which is your transaction data. Test median, I'm targeting here as in 30. And click on OK. Now we'll see the result. So what does it indicate? This is telling you have total 25 sample, where the median of this 25 data point is 25.5. You are comparing against 30. So null hypothesis says your hypothesized median is equal to the median, which is 30. An alternative hypothesis will say that hypothesized median is not equal to 30. So which hypothesis we have here? My p-value is less than 0.05, which means it's an alternate hypothesis, and it is proven that hypothesized median 30 is not equal to the actual median of 25.5, which means they are significantly different, and we can see as well at 25.5 is much lesser than 30. So keeping in mind or looking at the target value that we should be at least 50% of the time we are achieving the production as in 30 or equal to 30 or more than 30, but answer is no, because my actual median is much lesser than the hypothesized median. So we did not meet the target value. That's how we do one sample Wilcoxon test. Thank you so much, people, and I'll see you in the next session.